Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. What I thought I would do is just give you some really quick hints for assessment 1.4. This won't take you very long to do at all. All you need to do is access the template in the assessment area. So rather than record myself, I thought because we've got a new layout of the site, I'd just run through where to find everything. So you just need to click on the assessment area. And then if you scroll down to assessment 1.4, all you need to do, so I'll just turn my email off so it doesn't keep beeping in constantly. All you need to do is go down to assessment 1.4, and what you'll find in here is a description of what you need to do. Remember, it's pretty straightforward. You've just got to identify for Dylan the problems that you've identified, the draft goals, and a description of how the goals could be met. Now, what you need to remember, you've already done this in assessment 1.3 in terms of your discussion activities, so this template will be really quick. So to access the template, you just click on there. It's a Word file. I'm on a Mac, so that's why it's opening in this way. It's got to open here. Now, one of the questions that I've had, if you look at the example that I filled out of another client in week 4, you don't need to provide any of the background information for Dylan up here. All you need to do is fill out this table. So pretty straightforward, really. So remember that the problems or the identified issues for this column might be tentative. So it might be Dylan is potentially at risk of. So for a really simple example of how I would fill out this table, I might have as a problem, Dylan is at risk of poor management of his asthma. The goal is to ensure that by the end of this session, Dylan has a completed asthma action plan and intervention. So the compared, intervention would be the completed action plan. The main thing you should focus on is your goals and ensure they are SMART. I.e., if you look at my example, my goal is specific, i.e. an action plan for Dylan. Measurable, I say that he will have an action plan. Yes, it is achievable. Yes, it is realistic because it's quite simple to put together. The evidence shows that the major intervention for asthma is an action plan. And in my goal, the one that I gave you before, to ensure that by the end of this session, Dylan has a completed action plan, it's got a time frame because we'll have it done by the end of this session. This seems basic, but it might surprise you that people are not great at writing SMART goals. So really spend some time really double checking that your goal is SMART. You don't need to provide, as I said, any of the background. You just need to fill out the template. I would aim to have about 5 problems, 4 or 5, a goal for each, and a small number of interventions related to each. I.e., for some goals you might only have 1, but for others you might need more. You might have a couple. You don't need to reference in text, but you do need to provide a reference list of sources that you have consulted to complete the template. Okay, so I think that's pretty straightforward. Now, I've provided you with an example. I really like this new format. I hope you do too. So I've provided you with an example. So I'm just going to go back to home now. And if I go to week 4, you'll find a template that I've completed for a different client. You'll find it right down the end, right down the bottom here. So if you just scroll down, here, example care plan from a different client. If you click on that, that will open as a PDF. As I said, for Dylan, you don't have to write all this information in, but you can see here where I have popped the issues in, the goal, the activity. So, for example, this one, non-adherence to healthcare advice. So I have said this client, Peter, might be at risk of that. And so one of my goals is to ensure that over the next year, Peter adheres to his self-management plan. I've got a time frame in there over the next year. And the intervention I'm going to do to ensure that he does this is appointment of a care coordinator who'll have regular and ongoing contact with Peter. So this is all you need to do. You just need to. Now, I've coloured mine in tentative. So here, if you have a look at the colours, I've put in some initial goals and then some tentative goals. You don't need to colour yours if you don't want to. I just did that as an example. So I'll just close that down. Okay, so I hope that's all okay. You've now seen my incredibly messy desktop. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.